Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're looking at another build today. We're looking at Unsung by Thermidor. Thermidor and Unsung, they are from Armored Core 4 Answer again. But anyhow, let's get on with talking about the actual build. Now this is going to be another one of those Nachtreiher builds, those Night Heron builds in German, if you're wanting a little bit of understanding of what the meaning of the word is, Nachtreiher. I'm probably butchering that, by the way. It's not really Nachtreiher, it's probably like Nachtreiher. No, I'm not going to do that joke. Anyhow, it is Night Heron. But the reason why I went with the Nachtreiher is because the shape of it kind of reminds me of the Aaliyah build, and that's kind of what we're looking for, is that Aaliyah shape in the head, the core, and the arms, all matching for Nachtreiher. Try and emulate that Aaliyah as much as possible. And then on the legs, originally we had Alicia legs, which I think are kind of technically the reverse joint Aaliyah legs, and they're a little bit thick boy legs, or thick girl legs if you will, whichever one you prefer. They're not going to be the super lightweight ones, which is a good thing because we can't really hold it anyway, but they are. I went with the Mine Beta because they are kind of halfway between. They're nice little mid-range. This gives us 9,000 AP for our AC and 314 boost speed. That alongside the booster being the Gridwalker booster, because we wanted to be able to jump up and stay up. Part of the reason why we want to stay up in the air is because of the weapon setup, and we'll get into that. For the FCS, we're using pretty much favorite one to use for anything that's going to involve guns that shoot farther than my arm's length. This is FCS G2/P05. This is a mid-range assist king. It doesn't really do much of anything else besides make medium range assist really good. For the generator, we went with the NGI 000. I probably could have went with a different one. Let's see. Yeah, I probably could have went with the VP20D, which gives it a really good energy output. You just have to never let it drain. The only problem is it makes it slow. Well, slower. We go from 314 to 302. I don't think that there is another. Yeah, it's either the NGI 000 or the VP20D for this build, and being that the VP20D makes it kind of heavy, I prefer being able to move a little bit faster still, even though tactics are pretty much usually kind of similar as far as most lightweight builds go. Always be changing direction. And for the expansion, I've been using the Pulse Armor. I know, I didn't use this one. I just wanted to change it up a little bit for everybody. Use something different. You'll notice that when I use it, it's a surprise sometimes, even to me, even though I'm the one that decided to use it. Because I'm so used to using this that a lot of times I end up popping a shield and I'm like, oh yeah, I was trying to pop theirs. Let's get on to the weapons. On the right arm, we have the assault rifle RF-024 Turner, mainly because Scudder's a little bit too much of an energy hog for it, just barely anyway. And it's actually kind of heavier, also just barely. On the left arm, we are going with the VE66 LRA. We could go with the LR, but I'm going with the LRA because it's just a little bit stronger, and I can't get the LRB on there. On the right back, we're using the Soups. Well, the Soup missile launcher. We're using one, mainly because this is another one of those builds that use the PM missiles that kind of look like the Angel Wing from before, and we're just gonna stick with keeping PMs on the Soups because they just seem that way. And on the other shoulder, we have the Plasma Cannon, the FASAN/60E. This actually is the main reason why we want this build to be an aerial build, because plasma weapons tend to do much better when they come from above and hit the ground, because of the fact that when they hit, they have an area of effect and then they stick around for a second, keep damaging, and you want that to keep happening. You want that's a good thing. Key thing though, when getting into how to use this build, it's a finesse build. This gun's part of the reason. The laser gun is also part of the reason. Sometimes you want to quick fire the left arm, sometimes you want to charge it. It just really depends on the situation that's going on. Like if you just barely need a little more impact to be able to get that stagger, just do a couple quick shots with the laser gun and you'll get that stagger. Then after that, you unleash this thing the plasma cannon. The thing about the plasma cannon is, though, because of the fact that every time you fire this thing, it gives you a bit of a halting or a delay in your movement, and because of that, I almost think that it's really just better to always shoot this thing at full charge, the plasma cannon. Always use that plasma cannon at full charge because of the fact that it's going to stop you anyway. You might as well use it at its full potential when you do. For the right arm, it's an assault rifle. It's got plenty of ammo. There's almost no reason to let go of that trigger other than to not look like an idiot firing at nothing. But even then, you don't really look like an idiot. You're just shooting. And the missiles are pretty much one of those things where the good way to get those missiles to hit the soups is to dodge just to the left or right after you shoot them off, like fire them off. That way, when they're coming at the enemy, your target is more than likely still looking at you and following you, and they are no longer able to see those missiles coming in without breaking the lock. And if they don't know to break the lock, they'll just eat them. As we talked about with the FCS, this is a mid-range build. You want to maintain that mid-range to almost pretty much maintain your accuracy. Otherwise, if you go too close or too far, you will start to lose that lock a little too easily, and it'll take too long for it to come back. Now, a good thing to do is use the quick activation of lock while you're in mid-range, and then move up into close range. And while you still have a lock, you can unload like the laser gun while it's fully charged, and that can often put a pretty decent chunk of impact on your enemy. Lightweight AC, again, because it's lightweight, you always want to change your direction while you're moving in the air. Go with like figure 8 motions, circular motions, just anything that's going to keep you not moving in a straight line or a direct circle around your enemy. Because even if you're just strafing around your enemy, your enemy's going to be able to like keep a target on you. You always want to be changing that direction somehow, and use your quick boost, obviously. That is everything I've got to say about how to use this build and what it's made of. Enjoy the rest of what I got to show you. We're going to give you a nice little fight between this thing in air, in the arena air, not the boss fight air, and also a couple of PvP matches.